My dear father and mother, brother and sister, aunties and uncle, all into it. Let go to content. One young man was appointed in the kingdom of 5. God himself appointed one young boy within the kingdom. As the young man was growing up with his kingdom, as he came into the age of 12, this young man began to do things in his own ways. He doesn't speak to anyone. As he wake up in the morning, he access without letting anyone know, I am going out. And he gonna do things that many who sees it come back and testify in front of the 5 kingdoms, including him. As this young man been living years as passed by, he came into the age of 15. As he came into the age of 15, is still doing his duty as is appointed in that kingdom to do God work. As this young man came in that age 15, mother and father and the rest of the kingdom seated, including him, and they asked him, what are you going to be doing as a goal in your life? What is your hobbies? Nobody know about him. He do things quietly. As he sees all his kingdom, mother in position, father in position, and the rest of the kingdom are seated. They are waiting for him to answer. As he scanned them, he noticed that all his kingdom is still a kid, 15 years old. I am still a kid. But as I become 18, I want a wife. As everybody confirmed, this young man doesn't just speak. People are waiting every year. Come, they celebrate. People know the day he says. This young man came into the age of 18. Kingdom gathered again and they asked him, what is next? You are 18. What is next? As he began to scan them, he noticed these are his kingdom. What is next? He said, by next month, I will bring a woman to show it to all of you. I want to get married. They confirm. As people are waiting for that month that he mentioned, he came before those days arrived with a girl and said, Mom, Dad, and the rest of the kingdom, this is my wife that I want to get married to. As they see, indeed, she is beautiful. As they begin to look into the young man, their son, if this woman can understand this young man, how come? Let them go ahead. They're seated This young man doesn't talk that much. This woman already know the lady, the young man. And the lady asks, how are you doing? He said, I'm good. That's it. He doesn't talk much. And the father and the rest of the kingdom gather. They told to the lady, we welcome you. Welcome into our kingdom. The lady said, thank you so much. I am in position to make it quicker. As he sees, he took the lady back to his kingdom and came back. 3 days later, this young man called a meeting. As people gather, they're waiting for what he's going to say. He said, within 2 weeks, I need my marriage to be completed. People said there's no problem. After 2 weeks arrived, this young man got married to his wife. As he went home to his kingdom, he sees his father. What do his father do in his kingdom? He recorded everything. What do the fathers do within their kingdom? He now his father wake up each and every day and go Monday to Friday. He's working. His phone work 24 hours. Some people call for help. He got up and gonna help them. That's what he sees his father doing. It's nice to everybody. Whether poor or rich, he helps you. That's what he sees his father doing. And his father is recognized in the land. As he sees, he arrived to his kingdom with his wife. They seated. He told his wife, what are your duties? The young man is speaking. He told his wife, hey, what are your duties as you and I are husband and wife? What are your duties? The woman says, indeed, as you know my mother. Indeed, as you know my father. We're all hard workers. We can do things that can amaze you as a man. The young man said, no problem. You take charge of what is yours and what is mine. I will take care of it. This young man wake up in the morning and go outside and minister. As he come home holding something. People are, take this, take this, take this. He tried to refuse. They say, hey, take them. He come home loaded. So there's food everywhere. Nothing is missing. 6 months passed by. The woman complained, hey, we have all is needed. We need a child in this kingdom. He said, that's correct. Tomorrow, I will bring a child. The woman said, what? He said, tomorrow, I will bring a child. The woman said, on me, a man or a kid that will come and help us. I mean, you and me need to bring a child in this kingdom. The young man says, hey, God didn't say so. The woman said, what? He said, God didn't say so. They still sleep in different area, different room, in the same house. Had this woman been backing this young man, the young man put him locked down. He said, God didn't reveal it. As he sees 1 year passed by, parent came from 2 different places. Parent, that girl, and his own parent came and said, hey, what is happening? He said, what do you mean? He said, how come there is no child? He said, God didn't say so. I told my wife that I should go and bring one, and she refused. As he sees elders begin to sit down and tell him, hey, it is written, go into the world and fulfill the world. He said, yes. But he didn't say so, that it is a right hour for this kingdom to own a baby. As the woman began to be serious, rebel to the young man, she wanted a baby. The young man kneeled and said, okay, we can start a home. As they started a kingdom, my dear father and mother, brother and sister, aunties and uncle, as they began to start a kingdom, first one was twin, 1 boy and 1 girl. As the woman sees such thing never happened in his kingdom before, as she began to close her eyes, mother never passed with what called twin, neither the father kingdom as well. No one ever passed and sees twin. They can hear it, but none in those kingdoms ever owned. But this young man has came and brought twin, 1 girl and 1 boy. As he sees the young man is still doing his duty, nothing is missing, is still going and do what pleases him. He doesn't hurt no one, doesn't bother no one. But as he go outside, he go and do what his heart desire is telling him. But people who sees him, they come and testify in front of the kingdom while they don't know what's happening. And as they begin to explain what happened, they cannot believe it could be him. A young man who was quiet. Are you serious? As he sees this young man begin to be locked down, woman put everything on lockdown. No more smile to this young man. As he comes, they look at him as he's a ghost. He's still quiet as usual. He's still quiet as usual. He still wake up and go outside and do what pleases him. He doesn't hurt no one. As he come home, people in his kingdom, 2 twins and the mother, they look into the young man as he's a ghost. He come and sit down to look at him. Nobody saying anything. As he begin to see what is happening, he doesn't say anything. is watching and is listening. That's all you do. And wake up and do his duty. Other woman sees Arahawa. She shut down water. Other young man come. No water for this young man. As he come, there's no food for him. Other young man sees he come home. They can give him anything in there that is holding in his hand. He cannot touch anything. He bring it back. He bring them home and all and give it to his wife. Still watching what is happening. What is going to happen, he doesn't know. He's still doing it. As he begins to try to see what is happening, 74 hours will go pass by. He cannot set his eye on water in his kingdom. As he begins to try to see, he can go 75 hours. No food that he sees in his kingdom. Is still quiet. As he begins to notice the food is part of the body, the young man begins to be dizzy. As he sees, still go outside with the water or bottle that he picked up from his kingdom. And go outside and minister with the bottle of the water that he picked up from his kingdom. Nothing else. As he began to want to bless people who says that they are like this, they are like this, he blessed them. Many began to stand on their own. Dream began to be updated. Life began to be different. Many began to send cars to the young man in his kingdom. Is still not touching anything. At the day arrived, his own father came to his kingdom and seated and said, "Son, I want to speak to you." As he seated, he began to scan his son. He said, "Hey, what is happening with you?" The young man doesn't answer a lot of the questions that you can bring. He just look at you. So what is happening, son? He found himself a seat and sit down. His dad told him, "What is happening?" You begin to walk beyond what is happening. He said, "What is it, Dad?" His father told him, "You lost weight. You lost weight. So you need to begin to eat." He seated with his father and he told his father was across the seat. He told to his father, "Come close. Bring your chair closer. I want to talk to you." And his father came, two of them, nobody else. They seated his father right here and his right here. He told to his father, "As you married that woman that I call my mother, are you the one that taught her how to take care or manage our home as a wife?" The young man said, "No, I didn't. Your mother came loaded." He said, "What?" He said, "Your mother came loaded. She know her duties." He said, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yes." He said, "Thank you. May God bless you." The father said, "What do you mean with that question?" He said, "That's all I want to know." As his father left, This young man dropped the Bible. He found himself a smaller location that he sit in alone. He got up and gone 2-3 hours and come back and sit down. As he sees this young man join cigarette, he began to smoke 1 pack a day. He's still doing his duty. As 6 months passed by, this young man promoted from the cigarette to the higher quality. As he sees 6 months has passed by, this young man dropped it and he went to high quality. He's not saying anything. As this young man began to upgrade, Bible has been dropped, but he's still going outside and speak, but he never opened the scripture. But still, something lead him to go outside and minister in his own mind, while it is exactly what is written in the scripture, and he doesn't hold it. But he still come home and finish 1 pack of cigarette until he begin to be going next level to next level to next level. And still nobody talking to him. He asks one question to his father, but there's nothing else that he says after all. And still going back to back, back to back. My dear father and mother, this young man continued doing so from back to back, from cigarette to next level, to next level, to next level. This young man been doing it so. And he sees his wife still in position. He's not changing anything. He's still on lockdown, not to serve this young man with water. He's still on lockdown, not to serve this young man with the food to eat. And he's still in position, teaching his two twins how to do so. As he been seeing it is taking place, this has passed, 2 years has passed by. The woman is still in position. As he noticed, he is not letting go of his mission. He go out for 3 hours. As he come back home, his water is a cigarette. As he come home, his food is a cigarette. He's still living. People are still seeing him, such as his wife and twin. And he sees, he woke up one morning and went to his two twins and his wife and told them the hour had arrived that I want to go outside there, and I may not come back for a couple of days. All of them confirm. Nobody cared about him. So whatever he says is on his own. He said, next day, this young man left. Didn't tell nobody bye. As he went, he traveled looking at his friends that he used to know back in the days that used to make sense as he asked them questions. And he sees, he finds one of them. That young man become a market. He owned big store. He always seated. That's where he said. And he found him. He went to him And they ask him, how are you doing? He says, yes, I am still alive. That is his answer. He never says good. He always says, I am still alive. Are they seated with his best friend, one of them, back in the days? He asked his best friend, hey, are you married? The young man said, yes, I am married with 4 children. He said, what? He said, with 4 children. He said, it's confirmed. Would you mind to take me to your house to die? This guy doesn't just talk, they know him. But that is something that is making the young man talk. He said, would you mind to go home with me when you're going home? The friend said, yes, no problem. He said, okay. I am taught to make it quicker. At that day, come, this young man is closing up his shop. He's going home. As he closed it up, he told him, let's go home. He said, okay. He told those people, his kingdom, 7 days. As they came home, as they were standing, woman shut down everything that he's doing and came and greeted them and told them, have a seat. It's watching. He's not saying anything. This woman doesn't know this young man. As they both seated was his husband. She went in the kitchen, grabbed 2 water, loaded, brought it to them. As they began to drink, 10 minutes to pass by, they brought them a tea. They're still seated. The young man didn't say yet. As they drink tea, the young man told his friend, please give me a second. Let me go and take a shower. I will be back. As he went up there, the young man finished shower. As he came down, as he tried to sit a little bit, his wife brought in a dinner to Adam. Him and his guests have to sit. They may have something to talk about. That is her understanding. As the 2 of them seated, they're eating. As they finished eating, in short time, the first daughter came in and picked up the plate, put them in the sink, the young man in the washing. As she put them in the sink, second daughter came and wiped them. This young man is washing. As she finished them, they put them in a dry place, is washing. As they finished, he told his friend, hey, let's go to living room. As they came into the living room, they seated. 10 minutes passed by, they brought them tea. This young man is washing. He's not saying anything. Whatever he says, he follow. Because this is his house, but it's washing. What is happening? At the night came, around 10 o'clock, young man, they still seated. They brought them some snack to eat before bed. He's washing. He's not saying anything. As he sees all this today, is waiting for tomorrow. Everybody went to sleep. In the morning, woman woke up before them. As she wake up, prepare everything, breakfast, put it on top of the table. People are sleeping, including children. At that week, mother came knocking door, breakfast time. They came knocking door, tock tock, yes. He said yes, it's a breakfast time. As he began to look into his watch, he noticed it's 6:30. How come? He never witnessed. How come? He began to ask himself, how come? The person who was knocking at the door say what? He said, don't worry, I will be right there. As the young man dressed up, he came, people are waiting for him. All of them woke up, including the children. They're seated, they're waiting for him. Everybody on top of the table now. As they're seated, children, nobody is talking. People are busy eating. As everybody finished eating, he confirmed people prayed before food, before nobody ate. And as before anybody leave, they must finish. Everybody have to finish. Put a spoon on top of the table. Is washing. Including the little one is washing. As the young man came dressed up, he went to his shop, opened his shop early. That's what he do. People know him. So people would drink tea and no coffee, no sugar. They go there because this young man always open early. At the next day arrived, the same routine, nothing is missing. He's not saying anything to his friend, but he's just recording them. And he sees 4 days has passed by. This is still in position. Woman is still doing her routine. This young man is still doing his routine. Children go to school. And he sees this is reality. On the 5th day, he called his friend as I want to speak to you. And they seated. He said, when you look at me, do you see that I own a wife? His friend laughed at him and told him, why not? Even kids, they own wives to die. He said, that's correct. I own a wife with twin. He said, man, you are blessed. None of our friends own twin. But we pass you by. I have 4 now. He said, yeah, that's correct. He said, can you tell me, once you married your wife, you brought it as your wife, as you, the one that teach her the routine. The young man said, no. She came loaded. He said, how? He said, she came loaded. Husband is the main person in that kingdom. She has been trained. So if I eat, I must go and bring something. She know what to do. I don't have to teach her that. He said, really? He said, yes. And you still doing it since you married this woman? He said, yes. 4 kids till today? He said, yes. He said, that's confirmed. He said, is it easy for somebody to divorce and in 7 days get married? His friend was laughing at him. He said, same thing never happened. I never see it before. Get divorced in 7 days you get married. I never knew that. But yeah, you can do a divorce and you can get married maybe a year later or 6 months later. But 7 days, I never heard of it. And he sees, he told to his friend, do your wife have a sister? He said, that's correct. She have 2 sisters plus 3. 1 brother. He said, that's correct. I want to see their brothers. He said, what? He said, I want to see is their brother. He said, okay. He's coming later for dinner. This young man is busy. He's doing his own business too. But we told him to come tonight. He's going to come for dinner. It says confirmed. At the dinner time came, they were still doing the routine. The woman is still doing the routine. Even a brother is amazed about what kind of sister she have. A day arrived at this young man came for dinner, and he sees their brother at 10 is beyond 250 pounds. And he sees well equipped. He noticed that this young man indeed owned 3 sisters. He asked him, are you the only son in that kingdom? The young man confirmed. He said, you are blessed with 4 sisters. And the guy tried to close his eye. He know only 3 sisters. How come? How come? He says 4 sisters and 3 sisters. He know. He said, it's 3, not 4. He said, okay, let's go for dinner. And they seated. The boys ate. They finished eating. Everybody laid down his spoon. The first one came and do their routine. Second one came and do the routine. At the best, both of them came into the living room. He said, brother, he confirmed. He said, the reason why I say you have 4 sisters. Indeed, you have 4 sisters. The first sister you own is your mother. Who taught them? I tell you. Who taught them? We should call sisters. That was the first sister that opened that plate for you. Second sister is your first sister that you proclaim. Because without first one, they will not know to do those routine to their husband. As a young man, are you married? He confirmed with 3 children. He said, okay, I want to come and greet your children. I have 1 more day. As he went, he find kids. I tell you, healthy kids, many of them are running. They saying anything that they feel like you can't do anything with no question. As he sees, as they see the guys, they run to the room. As they run to the room, they prepare themselves to come back and greet the guests. As he sees kids disappear, he seated in government, they brought water. The same routine in that kingdom is taking place here. Young man doesn't say anything. The mother knows what time it is. And he sees there is something. It's the same routine. He called that young man and said, brother, once you marry this woman, are you the one who taught her how to do a routine? The young man said, no. This woman came loaded. He said, what? He said, this woman came loaded. He said, what is it? He said, in the kingdom, they say husband is the first. Say, what? He said, that's correct. Because without that husband, there is no children. He said, really? That is the training? He said, yes. He said, okay. It's confirmed. When you marry, do that wife of yours have a sister? The young man said yes, she got one sister. And the last born, I tell you, if you marry that woman, you will know that you are a king. He said, what? He said, I tell you, if you have a son to marry that woman, hey, I tell you, you'll be living a better life. This woman, I tell you. But it's a last born, so I took the other one. He says, confirm. Thank you very much. Tomorrow, I must go to my kingdom. After they both want to sleep the day down, he went back to his kingdom. As he came home, I tell you, the seas, they look at him. This guy look like a ghost. They know nobody's saving water, and they know the young man doesn't eat anywhere. Only if he took a trip that he may eat in that kingdom that is going. But anything apart from it, he never done so. That is his life, and he's always quiet. As he came, young man seated, he greeted them. People saying it in the end, whatever it is. Some people are pretending they're sleeping. Some people are pretending they're talking on the phone. I tell you, he came and sit down. As he noticed, nobody talking, he left again, went to his own location and seated. Began to go back from park to park. The pack of cigarette from that place to that place, and it's going level to level, level to level. And he sees a couple days has passed by. His mother, his own mother, took a trip and came. And he sees his son. I tell you, this young man, I tell you, all the pants that he used to wear, number begin to get closer. And he sees, he said, this is not my son. The young man opened his mouth and said, hey, I am the one. He said, no, this is not my son. My son, whether he doesn't talk, he still work hard. But this man I'm seeing is dying with hunger. He's not my son. As he began to say, yes, I am your son, I am your son. He said, you are my son. You must come with me to die. I can't leave you here. I'm not here to come back to bury you. You must come with me to die. Those people are just seated, nobody saying anything. As he sees the hour had arrived, the mother said, hey, we must go. As she tried to say no, maybe I'm going to come tomorrow. Say no, let's go. As two of them left on the road, he told to his wife, can you tell me what my dad is doing? Are you the one that taught him to do what he's doing to you? The woman refused. He said, no. Your father came talented, loaded, he have them all. He said, what? He said, he have them all. Nothing is missing. He said, that's correct. Thank you. As they came home, his sisters heard. His two sisters heard about it. The brother is coming. I tell you, the whole in position. After the young man came, after I gave him a food that he never eaten. Years has passed by. The young man eaten, he passed out. He began to sleep on top of the couch. As he wake up, they brought him some tea. As he began to drink, they brought him another water. Hey. In short time, the young man confused. He said, hey, what am I? He said, you are in your mother and your father kingdom. He said, that's correct. What I'm seeing here, I see from different kingdom. Sisters begin to ask what he mean. You own a wife. He said, that's correct. But she doesn't do a duty. What could I do to her? What can I do to her? Other younger one said, hey, let her go. He said, we have 10. He said, that's correct. They are big people already. Let them go. Release. He said, no, I can. And this young man began to be living with his parents. 1 month, this guy came, loaded. The storm came to the location. As he came, people sees him different. His update, he went back to who he used to be. What happened? They know that he went to his mother's house. They know he been there for 1 month. But what happened? This guy update, pants begin to go back to the position, bell in his position. And he sees everything is okay. He came home and said, tomorrow I will start building another house on the right side in this kingdom. I must bring somebody to feed me since you refuse. Or else, whatever I'm going to say, I'm not going part of it. God is my witness. 4 years has passed by. And he sees the young man is serious. He says, hey, I don't care. Bring it. Whoever is going to take care of you, let me see. 7 days later, and he says, before the young man brought a reverend young lady and says, you are the one that's going to serve me. Do anything. Find something for me to eat. Whatever training you got from your mother and your father, show it to me. Feed me. My dear father and mother, brother and sister, aunties and uncle, men of God begin to be updated from that second wife that he brought locally. In about 1 month, he owned 4 wives. In the name, this woman need training. As you begin to look at us from the beginning, do you think this woman need training from the start before they have those kids? If everything was not right, do you think those twins will access? She doesn't need training. No training at all, because she has it all. She's loaded as well, like these mothers, like this young guy, mother and sisters. But what happened? Nobody is communicating, so somebody must die in that kingdom. With hunger, somebody must die. Whether it's that young kid that don't want to touch anything, believing his wife will bring it next month. Are you serious? Can you go 1 month without drinking water or eating food? Begin to serve each other. Time and hours, everything will obviously go one day. You, that man, or you, that woman, everybody will obviously die one day. But if you have a hand of whoever is dying, your hand is tied into it. You, I tell you, you. Keep your hand away from others. Don't say things that you cannot do. Let's leave that way to God, who is the only person who can promise. You and I cannot handle what we say. Why are we keep on doing it so when we know we cannot do it? Why are we promising things we cannot do? And we still believe we are the ones that are right while we are wrong. Let's leave that load of promise to God Himself. Let's do what we can do and let's leave what we cannot do. That's correct. This young man been living with 4 wives. At the second and fourth one came, all 4 wives in the same circle in his kingdom. This woman kids refused to serve their mother and join other kingdom, which kids always play. Everybody's hand to hand. They playing together. They left the mother in a silent mood, nobody to speak to again. Now can you tell me, do this woman deserve to go again and find another man and bring in the same kingdom? What do they want from that man that they believe is better? What do that man want from that woman? Let both know we are human. If we cannot be willing to help others, let's tell them. Then going outside and go and talk about it. Tell them, you don't mean anything. You, that man, say it. You, that woman, say it. If you believe there's somebody that is better, you, that man, if you believe that there's somebody that is better, you, that woman, they say what has been died on earth has already been died in heaven, and what has already been untied on earth has already been untied in heaven. It's time to release. Let others be free. Let others be free. That waking up, speaking anything upon that woman, speaking anything upon that man. You both say yes, and you both can say no again. Right? Because without God, between that union. Without God, between that union, all these things happen. Others don't care whether they eaten or they didn't drink water. Others don't care. But as they know God, they fear Him. If you and your husband or you and your wife is having some conflict, fighting cannot solve anything. I can tell you, you will continue to do so, will not solve anything. Lying to each other will not solve anything. Because what you already practice, even the best that you desire, will obviously see it. That you think there's a best that can update you as a man, or there's a best that can update you as a woman. We went beyond what we say, that we may go and explain a little bit, but we make it a little bit further so you can be comfortable to eat that fish. So you need to share and subscribe. We are here to speak what under shall be on top in a ways that will amaze you. In a way that you may not understand, such as today you are listening to this video. Maybe you didn't understand. Maybe something is not making sense. Can you say it down there so we may come and answer your question? Say something. Yes, it is not making sense. Really, stop telling them you can do it when you cannot. Stop saying that you know it exactly when you know nothing. May God bless you. May God bless you. Share and subscribe. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.